Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 11th July 2025. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Even before that, please note we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. You might be knowing it is a highly expensive training course, but we are providing complete free training, including all the advanced strategies I developed. You can access all the lessons from our NeoStock YouTube channel. At our channel homepage, click on the tab posts. Some of you might be seeing community tab. In that case, click on the tab. You get access to this post. This post is having a YouTube playlist link that is having all the training lessons. You just click on the link. Now we are into supply demand zone price action course. Here you have all the training lessons, including all the advanced strategies. Because between lesson 20 and 29, you have all the advanced strategies. And to start the training, start with lesson 1.1 that is available at the bottom of the page. And all the training lessons are placed in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one, but according to my training instructions. I provided the training instructions at our Telegram channel. You can find the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. So from the video description, join at our Telegram channel, and in the old messages or in the pinned messages, you can find the training instructions. So please make use of this opportunity. Now I am generating the different reports. So first I am going to generate finding the stocks near daily and 75 minutes time frames. And from the reports, we will identify high liquidity zones. And these high liquidity zones you can use as per the high liquidity zone strategy explained in lesson 21.3 videos. Okay, starting with the daily time frame. Stocks near to the daily demand zone. We got 19 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. Apollo Hospital is having a high liquidity daily demand zone. It is also having a high liquidity supply zone also. Sometimes you may get trade opportunities either side if a stock is having both zones as high liquidity zones. Okay, this is the first one. Next, Bajaj Auto is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. National Aluminium is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. TVS Motor is not valid because it is a pierced zone. So that's why we got 3 valid daily high liquidity demand zones from this list. And those who don't understand the structure of this report, I request you complete the training lesson 21.3 video. Sorry, lesson 21.1 video. In that video, I explained each and every column, values, abbreviations in detail. Okay, next, daily time frame stocks near to the daily supply zone. We got 4 stocks. Let us identify daily high liquidity supply zones from this list. We got only 1 stock. SBI Life is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. Okay, next time frame is 75 minutes. Stocks near to the 75 minutes demand zone. We got 14 stocks. Let us identify 75 minutes high liquidity zones from this list. HAL is having, Hindustan Aeronautical Limited is having 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. Already tested 6 times. Next, KEI is having 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. That's it. We identified 2 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones from this list. Next, for 75 minutes time frame, stocks near to the 75 minutes supply zone, we got 7 stocks. Let us identify 75 minutes high liquidity zones from this list. Indigo is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. That's it. We got only 1 stock. So this is about high liquidity zone identification from daily and 75 minutes time frames. Next, I will generate bullish, bearish and sideways trade setup related for monthly, weekly, daily and hourly income trades. Starting with the monthly income trade, sideways long trade setup, entry time frame is daily, entry zone is demand zone. In bullish or bearish or sideways trade setup parameter at daily entry time frame, I am selecting sideways long. That means telling the software it should generate sideways long trade setup for entry time frame daily. And the zone achievement should be violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score should be 11 for sideways and 12 for bullish or bearish. And third filter, piercer zone, I am not adding for daily. If any piercer zones, if you get, use lesson 28 piercer zone strategy concepts. Don't take directly, only piercer zone strategies only you should apply. Okay, now let me filter. You got 3 stocks supporting a monthly income trade, sideways long trade setup. Entry time frame is a daily demand zone. This is already tested 3 times. This is also tested 3 times. So in the previous reports, so who got these recommendations would have already got some money. Okay, next, sideways short trade setup for monthly income trade. Please remember, I am giving you very few seconds time to watch the reports. Actually, I am supposed to generate, as per the order, Nifty, Bank Nifty. Anyway, after this I will generate Nifty, Bank Nifty. The changes are daily supply zone, sideways short trade setup. We got 1 stock. Entry time frame is a daily supply zone. Next, bullish trade setup, daily demand zone, here bullish, and minimum odd enhancer score should be 12. We got 16 stocks supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. To get the high probability zones, we have to use different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies from this list. So to find the high probability, we are using a combination of different zone confluence and EMA confluence as per the concepts you learned in lesson 27, if I am not wrong, lesson 27 or lesson 28. The strategies I explained. Okay, first strategy is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. LTF is daily, ITF is weekly. So here I am selecting the filter daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence in the demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. This filter will be applied on those 16 stocks. We got 12 stocks. In all these 12 stocks, these daily demand zones, all these daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zones. That is what you can see, demand zone confluence. Always look into the search strategy so that you will understand how we got this report. Any mistakes you can find in the search strategy, if any wrong option if you select. Okay, this is LTF and ITF, but is it enough? No. We need to check ITF EMA confluence because daily is overlapped with weekly. That means daily demand zone is inside the weekly demand zone. That's why you should look for weekly EMA confluence. If weekly EMA confluence, always any EMA confluence trend should not be sideways. That is the rule you should not forget. Only it's trending. Bullish means uptrend, bearish means downtrend. Okay, daily should be inside the weekly and weekly trend should be up. See, weekly means ITF. LTF is daily, ITF is weekly, HTF is monthly. Now we are focusing on weekly because daily is inside the weekly zone. and the weekly trend is up in all the stocks. So you can further filter these stocks based on weekly EMA confluence. Weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. Let us select. Let us apply that filter. EMA confluence at weekly. I am selecting weekly demand zone with weekly EMA because weekly trend is up in all the stocks. Let's filter. You got 10 stocks. That way these 10 daily demand zones might be having more high probability to get success. Provide less than 20 checklist items should satisfy. That means less than 20 checklist items should support. Otherwise, there are higher chances of violation of these zones. So directly you can't take the trades. You have to apply all the less than 20 checklist items. If all are passed, then you can take the trade. Okay, this is based on daily and weekly demand zone confluence and weekly EMA confluence. Next, we will look into LTF, ITF, HTF, that is daily, weekly, and monthly demand zone confluence. After that, monthly EMA confluence. Okay, next filter is LTF, ITF, HTF. Removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is a daily and weekly demand zone confluence, already enabled. Next filter is a daily and monthly demand zone confluence. And the third filter is weekly and monthly demand zone confluence. See, all 3 filters are enabled. That means daily demand zone should overlap with the weekly demand zone. Both together again should overlap with monthly demand zone. We want such kind of stocks. So we got 5 stocks. That means in all the 5 stocks, these daily demand zones are overlapped with the weekly demand zones, and both together again overlapped with monthly demand zone. Such kind of combination we are filtering. And also notice monthly trend is up in all the stocks. When the monthly trend is up, you can apply monthly EMA because daily demand zone is inside the monthly demand zone. So if monthly demand zone is having monthly EMA, there are higher chances these daily demand zones may give you success. So let's go back. Apply EMA confluence filter at monthly time frame because monthly trend is up in all the stocks. So you can directly check monthly demand zone with monthly EMA confluence. Let's filter. We got only one stock. That way this daily demand zone might be having more high probability to get success. Provide less than 20 checklist items should satisfy. Otherwise, there are higher chances zone might be violated. So this is about bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, we will look into bearish trade setup. And also remember, all of you, we should pause the video when you are moving from one report to another report because I am giving you very few seconds time to watch the reports. After you study, you can proceed. Okay, next bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame is daily, but entry zone should be supply zone. And also bullish or bearish at a daily time frame, I am selecting bearish trade setup. And zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score should be 12 for bullish or bearish. Pierced zones, we are not applying the filter on daily time frame. Next time frame onwards, we will apply even the third filter. So we got 2 stocks. So these 2 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame zones are daily supply zones. See, this is tested again second time. Already it is tested once. Maybe today, maybe yesterday's report it is tested only once. Maybe today it might have given you a trade. Excellent, right? See, zone low 698. Maybe you might have taken a fine-tuned zone. Even if you take at 698, see closing price 681, already it might have given you around 17 rupees profit. Close to 3% profit you would have got already. Okay. Let us apply high probability trade setup zones from this list. First, let us check whether both these zones are supporting LTF and ITF supply zones or not. That is daily and weekly supply zone confluence. Both stocks are filtered. That means in both these stocks, these daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply zone. And the weekly trend is downtrend in all the stocks, so you can apply weekly EMA confluence. So in the EMA confluence at weekly time frame, I am checking weekly supply zone having weekly EMA or not. Both are filtered. That means both these zones are high probability trade setup supported zones. That's why it is already tested again. Okay. Next, let us verify both these stocks zones are having LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence or not. That is the daily, weekly and monthly supply zone confluence. Removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter daily and weekly supply zone confluence already enabled. Second filter daily and monthly supply zone confluence. Third filter weekly and monthly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, again we got both the zones. That means both these daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply zone. Both together again they are overlapped with monthly supply zone. And a monthly trend is sideways. So because sideways trend EMA confluence, and monthly we don't verify. But weekly already they supported. That's why they are high probability. And all the 3 zone confluence also supported. Further high probability of getting success increased. The only last parameter is monthly supply zone confluence. We are not checking. Anyway, weekly supply zone confluence, EMA confluence satisfied. That is more than enough to qualify as a high probability trade setup supported zones. That's why it is already tested second time. Okay, this is about bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, we will generate weekly income trade reports. Weekly income trade entry time frame is 75 minutes. Entry zone should be demand zone for sideways long trade setup. And bullish or bearish or sideways trade setup at entry time frame 75 minutes, I am selecting sideways long. And zone achievement should be violated opposing zone. And minimum odd enhancer score should be 11 for sideways. And third filter we are adding, that is 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter, I am at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting the values, minimum value 0 and maximum value 0. That indicates this zone pierced count should be 0. Pierced count 0 means the zone is not pierced. Very good, right? Okay, now this third filter, this second filter and the first filter. All 3 are applied on this 75 minutes demand zone. Because whichever the one you select, on that only the filters will be applied. Now let's filter. We got 4 stocks supporting sideways long trade setup for weekly income trade, and entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones. See, this is already tested once. So total we got 4 stocks. Next, sideways short trade setup for weekly income trade. The changes are 75 minute supply zone. Here sideways short. Now this time all the filters are applied to 75 minute supply zone. Let's filter. We got 3 stocks supporting sideways short trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame zones are 75 minute supply zone. Okay. Next, we will generate bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. The changes are 75 minutes demand zone and here bullish, and one more change, minimum odd enhancer score should be 12 for bullish or bearish. Let's filter. We got 11 stocks supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade, and entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones. All these are all 75 minutes demand zones. Total 11 stocks supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Out of these 11 75 minutes demand zones, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies. So I'm going back, setting the zone confluence filter for demand zones. The demand zone confluence, first filter I am enabling because LTF is 75 minutes and ITF is daily. So LTF and ITF demand zone confluence, that is nothing but 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. With this, I got 9 stocks. In all 9 stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones are overlapped with, all these 75 minutes demand zones overlapped with weekly demand zones. That means 75 minutes demand zone is inside the weekly demand zone. And the weekly trend is uptrend. Weekly means ITF. Sorry for the mistake. 75 minutes demand zones are overlapped with daily demand zone, not weekly. Sorry for my mistake. 75 minutes demand zone is overlapped with daily demand zone. That means all the 75 minutes demand zones are inside the daily demand zone. And the daily trend, that is ITF, is daily. IT trend is up in all the stocks. Let's further filter based on the daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence. Daily demand zone with daily EMA confluence is enabled. Applying on the 9 stocks, we got 2 stocks. So that way these two 75 minutes demand zones are having more high probability to get success. Okay. Next we will look into LTF, ITF and even HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled, that is 75 and daily demand zone confluence. Second filter, 75 minutes demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. Third filter, daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, 75 minutes, daily and weekly demand zones are overlapped with each other. Let's filter. We got 5 stocks. In all the 5 stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones are overlapped with daily demand zone. Both together again overlapped with weekly demand zone. That means all are inside the weekly zone. And weekly trend is uptrend in all the stocks. So you can apply EMA confluence on the weekly time frame because weekly trend is up. So we can check weekly demand zone having weekly EMA or not. If that is the case, the overlapped 75 minutes demand zone inside weekly might be having more high probability to get success. Let's verify the EMA confluence at weekly time frame and checking weekly demand zone having weekly EMA. All stocks are having on weekly uptrend, so we can filter directly. So we got 5 stocks. That means in all these 5 stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, zones might be violated. Look into the search strategy, how we filtered, you will understand. We have a demand zone confluence, weekly, daily, weekly, and 75 minutes. And also we have a EMA confluence, weekly demand zone, having weekly EMA confluence. Okay, so this is about bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next we will look into bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame is 75 minutes. Entry zone, supply zone, bullish or bearish or sideways trade setup parameter. At 75 minutes entry time frame, I am selecting bearish. And zone achievement should always be violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score for bullish or bearish, it should be 12. And also 75 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter, this is the pierced count parameter. Here at 75 minutes entry time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means the pierced count is 0. That means zone is not pierced. Now all the filters are applied to 75 minutes supply zone. By applying the filter, we got 7 stocks. These 7 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade, and entry time frame zones are 75 minute supply zone. So total 7 stocks we got. Out of these 7, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on different zone confluence strategies. And then EMA confluence. So first filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. I am enabling that filter and applying on the 9 stocks. We got 5 stocks. In all these 5 stocks, these 75 minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zone. And the daily trend is a downtrend in all the stocks. So we can further filter these stocks by setting daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence. So in the EMA confluence at a daily time frame, I am checking daily supply zone with daily EMA. Let's filter. We got 2 stocks. That way these 2 daily supply zones, these 2 75 minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get success. See, this is already tested 5 times, 6 times. It might have given you so many trade opportunities already. Okay, fine. So these are the more high probability trade setup zones, but provide lesson 20 checklist items should satisfy. That we should not forget. Okay, next we will filter based on LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence and then HTF EMA confluence. Going back, removing ITF EMA filter. Now we are focusing on HTF. So in the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled, that is 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. Second filter, 75 minutes and weekly supply zone confluence. Third filter, daily and weekly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got only 1 stock. So in this stock, the daily supply zone is overlapped with weekly supply zone. Both together again overlapped with, 75 minute supply zone is overlapped with daily supply zone. Both together again overlapped with weekly supply zone. But weekly trend is sideways, so we are not checking weekly EMA confluence. But we already got a good success. Maybe it is a high liquidity zone. Okay, this is about a bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, we will look into daily income trade reports. In daily income trade, entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry zone should be demand zone for sideways long trade setup. And bullish or bearish or sideways trade setup parameter at entry time frame 15 minutes, I am selecting sideways long. And zone achievement should be always violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score should be 11 for sideways and 12 for bullish or bearish. And third filter, 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter, at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 2 stocks supporting sideways long trade setup for daily income trade. And entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones. This is already tested once. Okay, next, sideways short trade setup. 15 minutes supply zone. And here one more change, sideways short. Let us apply, let us filter. We got two stocks supporting sideways short trade setup for daily income trade. And entry time frame zones are 15 minute supply zone. This is tested already twice. Next, bullish trade setup for daily income trade. The changes are 15 minutes demand zone. Here bullish. And one more change, minimum odd enhancer score should be 12 for bullish or bearish. Now we got 6 stocks. 6 stocks supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade. And entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones. We got 6 stocks. Out of these 6, let us identify high probability trade setup supported stocks based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies. So first filter is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. I enable the filter. After applying on the 7 stocks, we got 6 stocks. In all the 6 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zones. And 75 minutes trend is uptrend in all the stocks. So we can further filter based on EMA confluence on this 75 minutes demand zone. So in the EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame, I am checking 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA. Let's filter. So none of them are having EMA confluence. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. That is 15 minutes, 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. First filter is already enabled, 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. Second filter, 15 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. Third filter, 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. That means based on all the 3 filters, 15 minutes demand zones, 75 minutes demand zone and daily demand zone, all 3 together are overlapped with each other. That means all the demand zones are part of the daily demand zone. So let's filter. We got 3 stocks. In these 3 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes, both together overlapped with daily demand zone. See, that combination is also powerful. See, this is already tested once, this is already tested 7 times. Okay. And the trend is uptrend and daily. In both these stocks, let's verify any daily demand zones are having daily EMA confluence. In the EMA at daily, I am checking daily demand zone with daily EMA. One stock is having sideways trend. Let us eliminate that. We have to use uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So none of them are having daily EMA confluence. Even then 2 stocks worked because of high liquidity zones. That you should not forget. Okay, this is a bearish trade, this is bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Next we will look into bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. And here, bullish or bearish at 15 minutes, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score should be 12. And also 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter, at 15 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 14 stocks. These 14 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade, and entry time frame zones are 15-minute supply zones. So total we got 14 stocks. Okay, out of these 14 15-minute supply zones, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies. So first filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. I enabled the filter. After applying this filter, we got 10 stocks out of 17. In all these 10 stocks, these 15-minute supply zones are overlapped with 75-minute supply zone. And 75 minutes trend is a downtrend in all the stocks. So we can further filter based on 75-minute supply zone having daily EMA confluence. Here 75 minute supply zone having daily EMA. After applying the filter, we got 4 stocks. That way these 4 75-minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. See, this is already tested once. This is tested twice. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. That is 15 minutes, 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence supported stocks. I am removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters I have to set. The first filter is already enabled, that is 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. Second filter is 15 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. Third filter is 75 minutes with daily supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, the 15-minute supply zone overlapped with 75, both together overlapped with daily supply zone. Let's filter. So we got 6 stocks. In all the 6 stocks, these 15-minute supply zones are overlapped with 75-minute supply zone, both together again overlapped with daily supply zone. But daily trend is down in only one stock, remaining all are sideways. So let's verify if this only stock, the daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence. EMA confluence at daily time frame, I'm checking daily supply zone with daily EMA. At the same time, trend on the daily should not be sideways. It should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So none of them, that stock is not having EMA confluence. Okay, this is about bearish trade setup for daily income trade. The next reports are hourly income trade reports. In hourly income trade, entry time frame is 5 minutes. Entry zone is a demand zone. Bullish or bearish or sideways at 5 minutes. I am selecting sideways long. And zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 11 for sideways. And also 5 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 5 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 3 stocks. They are supporting sideways long trade setup for hourly income trade, and entry time frame zones are 5 minutes demand zone. Okay. Next, sideways short trade setup. The changes are 5 minute supply zone, and one more change, sideways short trade setup. We got 6 stocks supporting sideways short trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame zones are 5 minute supply zone. Okay, next bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. The changes are 5 minutes demand zone. Here bullish. And one more change, minimum odd enhancer score should be 12. So with these filters, we got 3 stocks supporting sideways long trades, supporting bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Bullish. Out of these 3, let us verify any of these stocks are having ITF demand zone confluence. That is 5 minutes and 15 minutes demand zone confluence. I'm enabling the filter, applying on the 3 stocks. We got all 3. That means in all the 3 5 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 15 minutes demand zone, and 15 minutes trend is up. Let's verify any of these stocks are having 15 minutes demand zone with EMA confluence. That is 15 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence. None of them are having, so no high probability trade setup, supported zones. But we will look into LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter. That is 5 minutes, 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence supported stocks. First filter is enabled. Next 5 minutes and 75 minutes, 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. With all 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. In both these stocks, these 5 minutes demand zones overlapped with 15 minutes demand zone, both together again overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. And 75 minutes trend is uptrend in both stocks. Let's check if 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence. So the one stock is having this demand zone, might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist item should satisfy, otherwise zone might be violated. Okay, next we will look into bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame is 5 minutes, entry zone, supply zone. Bullish or bearish at 5 minutes, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 12 for sideways for bearish trade setup. And also 5 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 5 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 11 stocks supporting supporting bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. And entry time frame zones are 5 minute supply zones. So total we got 11 stocks. Out of these 11, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies. First filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is 5 minutes and 15 minutes supply zone confluence. Enable the filter. We got 11, all 11. In all 11, 5 minute supply zones are overlapped with 15 minute supply zone. And 15 minutes trend is a downtrend in all the stocks. So let's further verify if any 15 minute supply zones are having daily EMA confluence. Here 15 minute supply zone with daily EMA. I enable the filter. We got 1 stock. So that way this 15 minute supply zone might be having more high probability to get success. That is the reason why it is already tested 3 times. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. I am going back. Removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters I am going to set. First filter is already enabled. Next 5 minutes and 75 minutes, 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 7 stocks. That means in all the 7 stocks, these 5 minute supply zones, all these 5 minute supply zones are overlapped with 15 minute supply zone, both together again overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. But 75 minutes trend is down in only 3 stocks. Let's verify if those 3 stocks are having 75 minute supply zone with daily EMA confluence. That is 75 minute supply zone with daily EMA. At the same time, trend on the 75 minute supply zone should not be sideways, because some stocks are having sideways. We don't want them. So we want only downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. Let's filter. So we got 1 stock. It's the same M&M. So that's why it is already tested multiple times. So this is about bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. So with this we have completed all the income trade reports. Next I will generate bullish and bearish, next I will generate Nifty and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain, starting with Nifty and monthly time frame, generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. In any supply demand zone chain report, always look into the zone column to find the high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones, and look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. You already learned one time frame higher is ITF and one more time frame higher is HTF. You can find those trends also. And remember these points for all the reports, and also don't forget to pause the video when you are moving from one report to another report, because I am giving you very few seconds time to watch the report. Okay, next, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 125-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 75-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 25-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 15-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 5-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Let me regenerate 15 minutes demand zone once again, because I didn't verify where is the nearest demand zone to the current closing price. Okay, 13. Okay, fine. You got enough demand zones. And generating 5-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Here the nearest demand zone to the current closing price is at serial number 27. That means you got all the supply zones, very few demand zones. So what I do, I will keep this demand zone somewhere in the middle of this space, so that you get equal number of demand and supply zones. Okay. So this is the Nifty supply demand zone chain report. Next I will generate Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain report. Nifty Bank is nothing but Bank Nifty. So generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 125-minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 75-minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 25-minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. So this is about Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. So we have completed both Nifty and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain reports. Next I will generate finding the stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames, starting with the yearly. Stocks price closed inside yearly demand zone. We got 2 stocks. Next, price closed inside the yearly supply zone. We don't have any stocks. Next, half yearly time frame. Stocks near to the half yearly demand zone, no stocks. Stocks near half yearly supply zone, also no stocks. Price closed inside the half yearly demand zone, we got 5 stocks. Next, price closed inside the half yearly supply zone, we got 3 stocks. Okay, next time frame is a quarterly. Stocks near to the quarterly demand zone, we got 2 stocks. Next, stocks near to the quarterly supply zone, 1 stock we got. Next, price closed inside the quarterly demand zone, we got 12 stocks. Let us further filter this list based on EMA Confluence and quarterly time frame. Quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA. At the same time, trend on the quarterly should not be sideways, can be up or down. We got 7 stocks. Okay, next, price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. We got 15 stocks. Let's further filter with EMA Confluence and quarterly supply zone. That is quarterly supply zone having quarterly EMA Confluence, and also trend on the quarterly should not be sideways, it can be up or down. We got 3 stocks. Next time frame is monthly. Stocks near to the monthly demand zone, we got 9 stocks. Next, stocks near to the monthly supply zone, we got 3 stocks. Next, price closed inside the monthly demand zone. First 19 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down, total 21 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on EMA Confluence and monthly demand zone. Monthly demand zone with monthly EMA Confluence, and also trend on the monthly should not be sideways, it can be up or down. We got 9 stocks. Next, price closed inside the monthly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 37 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on EMA Confluence on the monthly supply zones. That is monthly supply zone having monthly EMA, and also trend on the monthly should not be sideways, it can be up or down. So we got 13 stocks. Okay, the next time frame is a weekly. Stocks near to the weekly demand zone, we got 15 stocks. Next, stocks near to the weekly supply zone, we got 11 stocks. Next, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. First 17 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 38 stocks are filtered. Out of these 38, how many weekly demand zones are having weekly EMA confluence? Let's verify. The weekly time frame, weekly demand zone having weekly EMA, and also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, we got 20 stocks. First 17 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down, so total 20 stocks are filtered. Next, price closed inside the weekly supply zone. We got first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down, total 53 stocks we got. Out of these 53, how many weekly supply zones are having weekly EMA confluence? Let's filter. In the EMA confluence at weekly, I am selecting the filter. Weekly supply zone with weekly EMA and also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, we got 16 stocks. First 15 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 16 stocks are filtered. So this is about weekly time frame. Next time frame daily already generated in the beginning of the report. So I'm moving on to the next time frame, 125 minutes. Stocks near to the 125 minutes demand zone. We got 16 stocks. Scrolling the list down. Next, stocks near to the 125 minute supply zone, we got 5 stocks. Next time frame, 75 minutes already generated in the beginning of the report. So I am moving on to the next time frame, 25 minutes. Stocks near to the 25 minutes demand zone, we got 6 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 25 minute supply zone, we got 11 stocks. Next time frame is 15 minutes, stocks near to the 15 minutes demand zone, we got 5 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 15 minute supply zone, we got 5 stocks. Next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near to the 5 minutes demand zone, we got 5 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 5 minute supply zone, we got 14 stocks. So this is about finding the stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames. And in the final report, let us generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. So first 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. So I'm scrolling the list down, whichever the stock you want to refer, pause the video. After that, you can proceed further. Okay, I'm scrolling the list down. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for our further study and analysis. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.